Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. Today I would like to talk about the real life Candyman. This video is not to be played in the sharing the ear when there's children around, just an FYI. So, the series was, there was a series in 2000s about a black man, and if you said Candyman 3 times, he came out the mirror and killed you with a hook. Now, this turns out that he doesn't do that, but it's actually based on a true story, loosely. So I just looked this up today, and needless to say, I'm quite shocked. I've never heard about this. So his name was Dame Carl, Corll, I believe. So I'm not actually sure how you say that, because that's quite a strange English name. I've got people looking for drugs outside, so you can hear Holdens and Fords and people just looking for drugs. Anyway, so this person who found out he was gay, nothing wrong with being gay, by the way, murdered 28 teenagers, and that looks terrible. Right. Tortured some of them. Well, likely didn't torture them to death. Was a sexual sadist. Took S&M to a whole new level. So the situation is that I've been watching Emma Kenny talk about this. So I've got some notes. So I'm going to follow now on what happened. He was called the Candyman Killer because, just like you guessed it, he used candy to lure the teenagers. Not only did he use candy to lure the teenagers, but get this, he also, surprise, surprise, had a white van. Yeah. And this is in the 70s, so people, wouldn't think you were a sexual deviant when you're a male or female giving lollies to children. Nowadays, you would just be seen as a total weirdo if you give lollies to children that you don't know. Anyway, Cool. I'm just going to go with cool. And he humiliated them before he killed them. And the sexual assault was very horrific. So I'm going to get graphic now. He did grab a glass and insert it into the teenagers who was torturing's penis, and smash it. And some of his victims were mutilated, completely castrated. So anyway, enough about that. That's really quite horrific. He ended up with 2 accomplices, by the way, and the 2 accomplices helped to get him his victims, basically. These 2 young men. One, luckily, has been to jail and will never get out, hopefully. Police investigated him several times in the 3 years and came to the conclusion every single goddamn time that the teenage boys had ran away to go be with the gypsies. Am I really teenage boys? Gypsies? Really? So anyway, I'm going to keep reading on. His parents were split up in 1946. They reconciled in 1950, and then they divorced in 1953. He was a psychopathic. None of his relationships were really worked out. So, you could say he was kind of quite neuro-average in that department because many relationships don't work out. His parents worked at a candy shop. Yes, a candy shop. So, from the outlook, his parents and him sound very, very innocent. I mean, he's a Candyman. Not so fucking innocent, is he? So, shop opened. One of the parents had a shop called Pekin Prince, and Call had a girlfriend for a while. She proposed, and he said no. In 1962, he returns to family business with his mum. Yeah, and she sets up a rival business. That was the Pekin Prince. Right, let's get to it. So, Call found out he was gay, and this was back in the 70s when he would have been criminalised. Might have to edit that Russell paper out, might I? Being gay. So, anyway, Candyman, a co-worker, accused him of sexual harassment, and the mum sacked the guy who was crying sexual harassment, which you would not get away with nowadays. Anyway, 1964, Carl drafted into the army, but he got an honourable discharge because he said that his family needed him. And Candyman and the Pied Piper are very similar. Apparently, the Pied Piper, if you look into the background of the Pied Piper, exactly the same. He was not bringing children to save them into the cave, okay? That's what you tell your kids. That's the children's version. But just like Beauty and the Beast being around about domestic violence, it's actually not as innocent as you think. So, he takes kids and he started taking them on his motorcycle, and he had a white van, and he started picking up the children, as you do when you're a serial killer, and taking them on picnics. I'm not laughing because this blows me away. Anyway, apparently he'd fit black hair, and get this, every time he went out with a woman, he wanted the children to come along with him on the date. Because that's not totally fucking weird. So I'm nearly getting to the stage where I'll be doing part 2. I'll be doing that tomorrow. He built confidence, he had wealth, he attracted people, and the Candyman gave David, his accomplice, David Brock, money, basically give him $200 or whatever he could find. And anyway, enough about that. Brooks would procure the young teenage boys for Candyman. We'll just call him Candyman, because I don't really know how you say his last name. So, yeah, okay. And then Candyman was grooming Brooks, and Brooks depended on Candyman, and they were in some kind of fucked up trauma bond. If you don't know what a trauma bond, folks, look it up on Google. It's very informative. It's basically when you're addicted to someone and it's very, very toxic. And plenty of people don't even know they're in a relationship like that. Makes a whole lot of sense when you look it up. Basically, you're addicted to heroin and your boyfriend is your dealer. So, yeah, pretty powerful grip. So, Jeffrey was hitchhiking and was picked up by the Candyman and taken to his house and killed, and then his body was wrapped up in plastic and nylon rope bound with nylon rope. That's how they found his body, obviously. And Brooks walked in one day on Candyman with 2 boys tied up to the beds. You know, bad stuff is happening to them. Don't need to go into detail. He's a serial killer. Use your imagination. And then Candyman said to Brooks that he was just doing some kind of fucked up gay, shall we say, pedophile stuff. And of course, Brooks should have ran away and told the police, but he didn't. So, here we go. And later he admitted to Brooks that he killed them and buried them in the storage shed. I do not know where that storage shed is now. I could take a look on Google if you guys want me to find out where the storage shed is. Let me know in the comments section. So Brooks does nothing and pulled into Candyman's perversions. Most of us would have run away and told the police. But let's be honest, when you're people like me, or people that have a disability, or people with a mental illness, we never fucking believe. So, you know, we'll just look like we're straight tripping off our balls. So, tripping our balls off. So, police decide that the kids had ran away to go because that's what they did back then. All the boys went missing over a 3-year period. 28 of them. They probably believe there's far more than that they have never linked up to Candyman. And ironically, one of the boys' father was working next door as a builder to where Candyman lived, I think, from what I'd found out. And then his behaviour was not pure. because he kept getting away with it, he's getting more and more confident with his crimes. And Brooke's father had no time for him, so Candyman took over, and they were very trauma bonded fuck buddies, you could say. And so Brooks walks. I think I've got. Yeah, so he's already admitted to all the killings. There was a total of 28. And one of the boys' fathers died of heart attack while looking for him. It's got a name when your heart breaks from stress. It literally breaks. I had a cardiac arrest, I would know. That was from my trauma. So, went along with the police, and Candyman thought he was above the law. Um, and now has two people procuring boys. And Wayne was told, Wayne was paid 200 to find a boy to torture and kill. So it's all very fucked up. So anyway, I just thought I'd talk about it. And the second part is coming in the next few days. Obviously, I'm getting quite good at this. Because when I first started out, it was actually terrible. So yeah, I'm getting better. And like I'm not doing this to go viral yet anyway. I'm just doing this to see what happens. This channel will need some tweaking, and what I talk about, the content will definitely need tweaking. But I guess I'll see you when I upload Candyman, Part 2.